What's up, man? Welcome back. Pacific Pulse Podcast, episode 9. We're back again.
Back at number 9. Yeah.
Brother Vils. We're back again, brother. How was your week?
Yeah, good, bro. Good. We missed the last one. We missed our last session. Had a bit of a flu and stuff, so good to be back here, brother.
Not to worry, mate. Not to worry. We always come back better and stronger. But yeah, man, what's been happening in your world?
Yeah. So just I guess we got to relax a bit from last week, but you know we've always spoken about keeping this thing going and being consistent in what we do. So we're back at it again. So yeah, I had a bit of a rest. Was down sick with the flu. Family was down sick with the flu.
Gets around, eh?
But yeah, we covered over the weekend really well.
Yeah.
So that's hustles.
How's the family? Work? How's that all going?
Yeah, good. You know, just the same sort of stable environment where you just turn up to work, do what you got to do.
Yep.
Getting busy in our household, just as we spoke about. Our kids, getting work. Talia, our 14-year-old, now working 5 days a week. You know, so she's in there. So drop-off schedules are pretty hectic at the moment. So finding time just to even sit down and go through some of our notes, man. But nah, man, we're guys that sort of just make do with what we got, yeah.
How do you work that? Because it's pretty tough, I guess. Like, I don't know, because I don't have little kids of my own, but it must be tough for you being a full-time worker and a full-time father as well, having to come and sort of do the post-work duties. I mean,
Yeah.
I think being the head of the household is probably more of a more demanding job than actual your paid work. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Look, to be honest, it's the wife that carries everything. So you can be the head of the house, but the operation manager is the CEO, right? We always call them the CEO. So they're the ones that keep things turning over and rolling around. Basically, I just fit into her schedule, like what needs to be done, who needs to be, because I would have no clue. So she'll be like, this person needs to be dropped off. You need to be here at this time. I'm like, okay, boss.
It's a pretty well run and well-oiled machine. Shout out to Bree. No, that's good, bro. That's good. And how's Talia enjoying the job?
Yeah, she's settling in. She's just she's a kid that just turns up and just goes there and just does her thing. Obviously, they like her because she's going on to 3 weeks now, and they're just giving her, you know, they're pretty much relying on her to be there. So she's there doing the learning as well. She comes home, you know, she's sort of like, oh, Dad, I did this today, and I did, you know, ordering and what have you.
Wow.
So it's good to see her growing up, and she's making a consistent amount of money. So she's making, you know, over $200. So
that's good. It's a lot of money for a teenager.
It is a lot of money, but she's starting her savings plan early. She's seen her siblings go through it.
Yep.
So she's pretty excited to see where she lands, and just by what we've calculated off, because all the other kids started at Macca's, right?
Yeah.
But they didn't get the consistent hours she's getting. So she's actually blitzing them right now.
Yeah, just purely on the consistent hours.
On the hours, on the 5 days a week. They're calling her and on the weekends, and she's just keen to go. So, yeah,
it'll be interesting to see, like, if she can sort of hold this over for a couple of years.
Yeah.
You know, and just be consistent with the savings. I think she'll be en road for a new car. Maybe
easy
house,
easy
deposit for a house.
Well, there we go. That's what we're actually talking about, because the transitioning these kids, especially from a young age, early age, they just get used to it, right? I look at Jara, man. He's a gun. This kid just like picks up shifts, makes it to work. He catches the bus himself, and that's what he's learned over the last couple of years. So he's not really dependent on us. Obviously, different with the girls. You know, I won't let them catch buses and stuff, but we've already put that into our conversation now with her. It's like, yeah, you can actually catch a bus there, but I'll pick you up. So,
I mean, you've put your kids in pole position, really, with sort of stuff when it comes into their adult life. You know, they're sort of ready to take things on board and know what to do with the money. You know what to spend it on, not to be. And there's going to be times where they're going to obviously, you know, spend stupid, but they've sort of got the foundations there for them. And I was talking to one of my mates at footy on the weekend, and we were talking about buying a house and stuff. You know, you know, we're in the market now, and I was like, well, I wish someone had come to me when I was younger
100%.
and said, do this with your money, put this away, do this, you know. I mean, I was told to save money, but it was like, just save money, but there was no purpose to it.
That's right.
You know, it's just like save money. The old man used to say to me, save money for a rainy day. And I'm like, yeah, okay, cool. But
there's no end goal, there's no
Yeah.
ambition, right?
Yeah,
it's
that's
just
right.
like save your money, and then as we know, you always dig back into that. But
Yeah.
when you got to focus on a goal, I guess that's what helps them, and that's what helped us get to where we need to get.
Yeah, I think just having the focus and goal in life, just with anything,
Yeah.
you know, sort of keeps you accountable and, you know, with that purpose and consistency
Absolutely.
as well. So, no, that's awesome, bro.
So how's so your week? How's your week been going,
Mate,
man?
it's been good. Back in the office now. As I was saying last time, I think I was working from home because there was a fire
Yep.
in the first floor of our office. So, yeah, we're working from home for the past 2 weeks,
Yep.
which was good. So I didn't have to travel an hour and a half down to Tweed, which is okay. You know, I do it because you have to do it. But, you know, it just made it handy just working from home. So back in the office, seeing all the familiar faces again and
Yep.
getting back in the swing of things. Footy on the weekend, which was good.
Yep.
I had a trial game that I was down at, and they had the junior pathways competition games on as well.
Yep.
So it was a big day of footy. And the season launch was today for Tweed Seagulls.
Oh, nice.
Involved with the Tweed Seagulls. Shout out Tweed Seagulls. So we had Josh Hannay, Titans coach, Scott Sattler, who's obviously general manager of football there at Titans.
Sattler. Some big names here, man.
Joe O'Callaghan, who's the Host Plus Cup coach, and Shaq Mitchell,
Yeah.
who's Latrell Mitt's brother.
Yeah. I've
He's
seen
come
that,
from
I've seen
Sydney.
that, Yeah.
Karen Murphy, the NRLW Titans coach, and a few of the girls, Thames and Cairns, Kalia Browning, and Sean Davison, head coach, all spoke at the breakfast, and it was really good turnout there, sponsors and friends of the Tweed Seagulls. But there's a definite vibe there for the club, and not only that for the Titans as well, because they had a good win on the weekend against the Storm.
Yeah.
Even though it's a trial game, I think they got like 50 points or something against the Storm.
Yeah, it was pretty hectic.
Yeah, so there's a good vibe, and you know, around Tweed Seagulls and the Titans as well. I think just with the fresh faces in there, you know, change as good as a holiday, they say. But yeah, it's looking pretty promising.
So for our millions and millions of viewers out there, can you explain what is your role at the Tweed Seagulls?
Mate,
and what do you actually do there?
My role at the Tweed Seagulls, I'm just there for my good looks.
Fair enough, man. 100. Put money on that.
Yeah, well, no, I help out on game day with the sponsors and that on game day and at the home games.
Yep.
So I help out there and help out also with the Host Plus Cup side. Whenever they need a hand at all, I just step in the manager role and just help out where I can. So I've been involved with the club now for about 8 years, going on 9 years now.
Yeah.
Gone quick.
Yeah.
But you love it. It's a great club. There's money. We've got money, but it's not like your Burleys or Redcliffe where they've got the big dollars. But the thing that makes the club is the people there.
Good.
You know, it's good, solid people there, good, salt of the earth people. They just want to see, you know, the players succeed, both men and women. So no, it's good.
Awesome.
Round 1 coming up, man.
Yep.
Vegas. It's the first game this weekend, so we'll have a bit of a chat about that. Then we'll sort of talk about, I guess, your field of expertise, Supercoach, and the draft. Is it NRL draft?
The Supercoach.
Supercoach?
Yeah.
So the first game on Sunday, which would be at 1:15, that's 12 Queensland. It's between the Knights and the Cowboys.
Knights and Cowboys.
What are your thoughts, man? Would you like to hear the teams?
Yeah. Throughout the teams, because I did, I looked over a few of the highlights over the weekends. I didn't really catch a good glimpse of the Cowboys, but I did see Newcastle play out their game. So they had a pretty tough game against Para. They both looked sharp. Para to me stood out in that one.
Yeah, it's Parramatta. Yeah, I think they'll be Smokies. Well, we'll talk more about their season when we come up to them. But for the Knights, we've got Kalen Ponga as captain.
Back, yep.
Dominic Young, Dane Gagai, Bradman Best, Greg Marzu, and in the halves, Fletcher Sharp and Dylan Brown.
Yo.
In the forwards, we've got Jacob Saifiti, Phoenix Crossland, Trey Mooney, Dylan Lucas, Jermaine McEwen, and Tyson Frizzell. On the interchange bench, Sandon Smith, Matt Crocker, Thomas Kant, Pasimi Solo, Fletcher Hunt, and Francis Manalelua.
Oh, yeah.
Right, so for the Cowboys, Scotty Drinkwater at the back, Braden Burns on the wing, Jackson Purdue and Tom Chester in the centres, Murray Taulagi on the wing, and in the halves, Jake Clifford and Tommy Dearden is the captain. The forwards up front, you got Cohen Hess, Reid Marnie, and my cousin, Jason Tamalolo. The edge back rowers, second row, Helam Luki, Sam McIntyre, and number 13, Ruben Cotter. Off the bench, they got Sonny Luke, Thomas McAley, Harrison Edwards, Kai O'Donnell, Griffin Name, and John Bateman.
Oh yeah, Bateman's on the bench. Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that one, mate?
Alright. I'm just looking at the Newcastle Knights, right? Their lineup. Ponga's back into the fold. Fletcher was a standout half last year, right?
Yep.
He just stepped out, and I think that Dylan Brown, he went all right on the weekend as well.
Just on Dylan Brown, what about the series that he had in the Pacific Nations?
Oh, bro, gun. It was absolutely. It was a standout in that one.
He carved up.
Yeah, but that's being around the boys, the bros, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, just on the weekend there, he had his little highlights here and there. But I think Parramatta they just looked really sharp. So it was a pretty tight game.
Yep.
I think it was Parramatta, or was it? No, Parramatta were playing the Roosters, right?
I think it might have been Cronulla.
Oh, Cronulla, yeah. He looked all right there. So, but with Ponga back and that half Fletcher
Sharp.
And they've got a very mobile forward pack, right?
Yeah, they do. And they've obviously lost, what's his name? Went to the Dogs.
Who's that?
He was at Newcastle last year.
Is it Pierce?
No. His name escapes me. Leo Thompson.
Oh, yeah, Thompson, yeah.
Yeah, so they lost him. So
he was the only grunt up front, right?
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, Saifiti's pretty solid. He can play some good minutes.
He's coming of age, right?
Yeah. Running on old legs. The interesting one there for me for Newcastle is Sandon Smith.
Sandon Smith?
Roosters last year.
Oh, yeah.
In the halves.
Yeah.
He's quality. I think he'll probably, I'm not too sure how they'll work it, but probably interchange with Phoenix Crossland in the 9. Then you've got like 3 ball players on the field at that time. So that'll be pretty interesting. I think, Sandon Smith is probably the X factor there for me. I'm sort of leaning towards a Newcastle win.
Yep, agree.
Yeah, it'll be a good game. I mean, Vegas is always a big thing. What are your thoughts on Vegas anyway? Like taking the game over to Vegas. I mean, when the third is it the third year or second year? Third year?
Doesn't appeal to me. I don't see the big hype on it. You know what I mean? Like maybe they're trying to expose the game over there in the United States.
But see, rugby league's always been in America. Like but it's not big, obviously, because you got basketball, NFL.
Yeah.
So it's always going to be a minority sport. It's not going to gather the eyes that what the NRL are hoping for.
Yeah.
I'm like I think it's a waste of money.
Yeah, I don't see the point to it. I mean, the fans are here, right? It's celebrated here. I don't know, for the players, they always seem excited to go over there, right?
I'll be excited to go over, as a player and get to go to Vegas. But it's and you're right too, because it's only New Zealanders, Kiwis, and the Poms that are going over there to watch it.
Yep.
There'll probably only be 2 or 3 Yanks probably at the game itself, just as a novelty thing. But the majority of them will be Kiwis, Aussies, and Poms going to watch it. I was just listening to the Rugby League Journeyman podcast. Shout out to Rugby League Journeyman. And they were saying that at the same time, when I didn't think of it, that AFL is on, but AFL really struggle at that time because, NRL's in Vegas and they're opening up the season in Vegas. So there's a lot more eyes, TV-wise, on the NRL.
Yeah.
So I'm sort of thinking, maybe it's like that viewership thing to get eyes on the NRL because it's on the same time as the AFL.
Yep.
But the more eyes are on the NRL because it's in Vegas, everyone wants to watch it, that sort of thing. So I just thought of that when they were talking about it. So maybe that's a reason why that they're doing it, to compete with the AFL, but at the same time, waste of money.
Well, maybe we put a poll out there to thousands and thousands of American fans and just comment below.
Yeah, make sure you subscribe to you, American fans and family out there. Get on it. Pacific Podcast. Let's go. Game number 2. From Vegas, it'll be 3:30 Australian Eastern Standard Time with 2:30 Queensland time. Bulldogs and St George.
Let's hear some names.
All right, so let's go through the Dogs team first. So we've got Connor Tracy at the back, Jacob Carraz, Bronson Cherry, and my cousin Stephen Crichton.
Oh,
At centre in the wing. At centre and captain, Marcelo Montoya on the wing.
yep.
Matt Burton and Lockie Galvin in the halves. Up front, got Max King, Bailey Hayward, Samuel Hughes, Liam Kikau, Jacob Preston, and Jamin Salmon.
It's the salmon at lock, all right.
Yeah, he's sitting off the interchange bench. Kurt Mann, my cousin, and Dream Yours, Sitili Tupunua, Harry Hayes, Josh Curran, Sean O'Sullivan, and Jake Turpin. It's Dogs.
Yeah.
For the Dragons, Clint Gutherson at the back, and he's captain. On the wings, Christian Tuipolotu.
Oh, so that Tongan guy, eh?
I think he's Samoan. Speaking of Tongans, Moses Suli in the centres with Valentine Holmes.
Yep.
Situtu on the wing. In the halves, Kyle Flanagan and Daniel Atkinson from Cronulla. In the forwards, we've got Emre Gula, Damien Cook, Toby Couchman, Luciano Leilua, Jaden Sewer, and Hamish Stewart at 13. Off the bench, James Sele, Josh Kerr, Blake Lowry, Ryan Couchman, Laken King Tongia, and David Fale.
Interesting lineup.
What are your thoughts?
Of Mate Tonga on that Dragon squad, eh? Yeah, I think there's a few oldies there in the Dragons, eh? You know, Gutho's sort of like past his due by date.
But he's still solid. Like, he's still, from what I've heard and seen, like, he still leads the testing, like in fitness and stuff, and training.
Yeah.
Like, he's still
He
got
still got there. I think he scored a try on the weekend. So his footy brain's there. I don't know. I just, you know, when it's just the old same shit. That's like, if they can get the spark going. I've seen him there. Last 2 seasons now?
Yeah.
Not much going on for him at the back. And then you got Cookie there. That's, you know, he's tired as well. But he, again, preseason he's turned it on. I don't know whether these guys just want to perform in the preseason.
Yeah, I think it's just to get the legs going and stuff. Put some, you know, minutes into the body and stuff to get it ready for the season.
Yeah.
I think St George will be Smokies. You know, they can just be that dark horse that can just turn it on.
Yeah.
Like, looking at them, you go, yeah, their past performances doesn't sort of warrant like a tip. You know, like you pick them to win. But the boys, they can cause trouble.
Yeah.
You know, I think they can. But I think in this instance here, I think, you know, I'm not being biased because being a Bulldog supporter. I think Canterbury will be too strong for them.
That's an easy one for me. Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, nothing to do with the old stuff. Even if those guys were firing, man, like Bulldogs at the moment, they're on a bit of a high. You know, like even from last season.
Yeah.
They were the talk of the season, to be honest, because it's sort of like they've been revived now. And all the talks around my cousin, you know, Skivvy. I call him Skivvy. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, Skivvy.
Skivvy, Crichton, my cousin. Yeah, he's probably changed the whole demeanour of the Bulldogs team has sort of changed.
It was interesting when he first come over from Penrith. You know, a lot of people thought it was a money buy, but Cameron Serrato said that, you know, there was a reason why he brought Critter over from Penrith, and it was that leadership.
Yeah.
And that winning mentality that he had.
Yeah.
He wanted to instill it at Canterbury, and you know, a lot of people were shocked.
Yeah.
When they announced Critter as the captain.
Yeah.
You know, because he sort of hadn't done anything, because he was always playing behind Luai and Cleary at Penrith. You know, and he was just sort of like in the supporting cast, so to speak, at Penrith.
Yeah.
You know? But then, sort of when he came to Canterbury, he sort of stepped out on his own and sort of was his own man.
Yeah.
And you could see it with the first year that he was there, man. Like, he just changed the culture, and people just say that
100%.
It's because of him that everything changed.
Well, they had the footage, you know, shooting back to him where he's just geeing up the guys, you know, and that's what they needed, right?
Yeah.
A leader step forward and just chat, and they all looked up to him because of the years prior, right? All the experience and all the championships he's won, so all the boys already know, like, man, he's got it. Like, I want to listen to this guy.
Yes, it's no surprise that that those guys like Critter, Jerome, even Spencer Lindy to a certain degree, when they left, they were like, you know, obviously they had those experiences of winning that, but they had that leadership quality, you know, that sort of they learnt, you know, in their time at Penrith.
Which is an awesome topic. Like we talk about this all the time, and Richie Mo'unga was our first sort of like, man, that's different now, right?
Yeah.
We always used to say, you have a white guy at number 10 or at number 6, the playmaker and stuff like that. That's nothing racist. That's just what we're brought up on.
Yeah, it was kind of fact, because at the time when we were playing or, you know, watching, you know, rugby union, rugby league, there was no Polynesian, you know, in key positions. You know, it was few and far between.
Yeah.
And if they were in those positions, you know, they were very emotional players, and if they made a mistake, the head went down straight away and they were out of the game. You know, they were hard on themselves, sort of thing.
It was the mental aspect, right?
Yeah.
As soon as I got beaten upstairs, it was like, oh man, I've failed, or whatever it was. But there's a thing with the Balangis where they go through that and they just go again, and they just go again. It's just their mental capacity. But I think it's our culture which shuts us down, right?
100%.
Because in our culture is like, you're seen but not heard. And, you know, it doesn't matter what it is, you just humble yourself and be quiet. And that's the thought process behind the way we play and stuff like that. Like,
it's the third generation? Your kids will be third generation, eh? Second? Third generation, It's the third generation, so you, like as a parent, I think we touched on it on previous episodes, have taken bits of the Polynesian culture, the bits of the Palangi culture, and sort of give them the good parts.
Just fused it all
together.
Right?
Absolutely. Yeah. Then now, I mean, like these guys like Critter, Brian To'o, you know, your kids as well are just, you know, exploding, you know, 100%. In everyday life. No, so that's
interesting that these guys that you just named there are all, you know, our island culture, but they've all grown up with that, being in that winning sort of mentality with these teams. And obviously the parents have supported that sort of way of thinking.
Yeah, and it's, you know, and the boys are really open about it as well. You know, they're very proud of their heritage, of the culture.
100%.
You know, they're very proud of it too. And, you know, it's good to see, you know, the likes of Richie Mo'unga, Stephen Crichton, you know, Jerome, you know.
Yeah.
You know, up there.
Hitting new heights.
Hitting new heights, awesome, because back in the day it was very, you know, few and far between. I mean, who was it? Like Benji Marshall, your cousin Sonny.
Sonny Bill.
It was very sort of rare, you know, but now coming up it's just
we
exploded, eh?
There's numbers all over the place. So going back to the Bulldogs, mate, absolutely. I like Hayward. Hayward at hooker. He's like an extra forward out there, eh? Yeah,
and I was watching a podcast with Cameron Ciraldo and Josh Mansour, and they were talking about when Reid Marnie was sort of told that, you know, he wasn't wanted anymore. And Reid, I think, was saying that he didn't know why he was sort of let go. But Cameron Ciraldo said it was purely because Bailey Hayward couldn't be ignored. Like, he was just doing everything right, you know, everything right. And he said that even though you look at the stats and Bailey Hayward is not a standout, but it's the feedback from his teammates that shows that, you know, he's actually a valuable member and he does those things right on the field, even though the stats don't show it. So they had no choice but to, you know, give him the start and sort of move Reid on.
But that's good coaching as well, right? Because it's not an emotional decision. It's a logical move.
It's all team first.
For the club, and for the team. And that's what I said. I like Hayward. You can see him. He's a bit of a standout. You can see he does his work rate's up there. He covers it as like a little extra forward, but he's also got that ball playing skill.
Fun fact about Bailey Hayward, his grandfather played for Newtown Jets back in the day. I think in the 70s. But he got thrown in jail in, I think, Thailand. I'll have to check it. But for being a drug runner. Back in the day, and he did his time in Thailand, come back, and he died in Australia. But he was a pretty gun footballer too. But that was his claim to fame, was getting locked up.
Well, there we go.
In a Thai jail.
Full of fun facts, this guy. Very nice.
But Ben, Dogs. What's the margin, mate? What are you picking them by?
The Bulldogs, I think they're going to come out firing, but, you know, St. George, they won't lie down. They've got some big island boys there, and I think they're starting to structure around those boys. you know, like Sully and that playing in the centres. You got Sua, even Leilua. They sort of just play off the ruck. So,
Bro, Luciano looked flipping fit in the trial. Like,
He
he
does.
slimmed down heaps.
yeah.
He looked really good. I mean, I suppose you have to be now with the new bench and the way that all the rule changes there.
Yeah.
You know, you sort of can't afford to be that sort of bigger body anymore, hey?
But just with those guys, still danger. But I reckon it'll be still about, I'll go 14 to 20 points.
Yeah.
Pretty comfortable margin, you know.
Dogs defense too, solid.
Yeah, last year they showed that, 100%. Yeah. So something new we got to start the season off is our super coach.
Mate, you'll have to give us a bit of a rundown on that, and that you're the super coach aficionado.
Yeah.
Mate, that's your bread and butter. So
Yeah, we'll go through it. We'll go through the setup later on, but
Yep.
just a quick touch base. It's sort of like super coach is obviously a game I've been playing for years, and I've had all the brothers in there. You brothers know I can beat you guys, and it's just something that we did together every year. You know, we've reached out and hey boys, you just want to jump in and stuff.
what got you to super coach? What started the whole super coach?
We're pretty much rugby league fanatics, right?
Yep.
So being in the rugby in that sort of scene, I just like I did the first season where you select your team, you're the coach, you get to pick your team. But the thing that appealed to me most was the scoring's live. So you sit there, you watch a game, you watch a player perform, and your points just go live.
Yep.
And that was just interesting to me. And then once I got that and started seeing how it works, I started getting strategic with it. And this is why, like I'm telling you, it's not just about buying the best players. It's also about identifying the up and comers, which is really what super coach is about.
Yeah.
And they call them cash cows. So if you can find an up and coming player who's like just breaking the first grade, they're getting more minutes. As their minutes increase, so does their value. So you try and line your team up with obviously strong players that perform week in, week out, and then you pick up these little cash cows. You've got to just watch, because at the beginning of the season, you'll find heaps of cash cows. You know how they always give one or two guys a crack at first grade.
Yeah.
You see them for 2 games or 3 games, and then they just drop back to.
yeah.
And so
State
you've got to be
league.
careful on how you strategically place your players
Yeah.
and when you put them, and you've got to make sure that you've got all your positions covered. When you start seeing the scoring stuff, you're starting to see the strategy was where you spend your money.
Yep.
And most seasons up front, if you're a super coach fanatic, we know that the money's always up in the forwards and your second rowers. All right, and then you spend a bit on your fullbacks and your halves.
Yep.
So that's the sort of the key thing. So introducing Riggsy back to this season. I know you probably played once or twice and sort of not really engaged in it, right?
Yeah, not really. I think I was just a bit. I didn't know. I just didn't know what to do, sort of thing. I'm still a bit lost with it, but I'll give it a go just for the sake of the potty.
Yeah.
So you got some, I guess, some ammunition to throw at me, I guess, for being a shit super coach.
So yeah, I mean, next couple of podcasts we're gonna just put this part into our show, and we're just gonna go through, picks and stuff.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that.
So, but before we go on further, what are some of your players that you're sort of looking at purchasing
Yeah. Okay.
as a
So
super coach?
there's
Without revealing too much of your
no, man,
your
I'm
secrets.
open book, man. I'm open book. I sell it all for free, people, especially for you if you subscribe. Now, so yeah, look, basically, once you start playing the game, you'll notice that everything's about points, about contact, meters, tackles, everything that's involved in the game. So obviously, the first key thing that most people forget or miss is the time they play, right? So I always look for 80-minute players. So when I say 80 minutes, if you find a hooker, hookers are interchangeable, right?
Yeah.
So if you go and find a hooker that only plays 40 minutes because they swap out because that's just the team strategy, they're no good because you won't get too much points from them. You need an 80-minute hooker or something close to that.
Yeah.
So same with second rowers, interchange bench. Like you notice players like Preston in the Bulldogs.
Yeah.
He gets a lot of minutes because he's quite fucking fit.
Yeah.
And then you find other players in that forward rotation like Liam Thompson. impact. When he's on, he does make impact, so he scores pretty good. And that's the other balance you got to look at.
Yeah.
So like those guys that get on the field, they're impact players. Every time they touch the ball, they're doing something. They're making a meter, that in every tackle. So their points just go up.
So you really need the busy players, guys that can play the long minutes, and that are just busy on the field.
Players that are just always involved. They're in every tackle. They're making yards. They're looking for the ball, right? And then you got players like that can have on and off days, like David Fifita. Bro, last year he was just a bomb. He just bombed out.
Yeah.
3 seasons ago, he was just like, when he was touching the ball, he was actually making meters on meters, breaking tackles, offloading. Last year he was just dead because he didn't go looking for the ball. You'll be surprised too with Latrell Mitchell. Even though he's on there most of the time, he doesn't go looking for the ball. But the problem is when he does get he breaks 4 or 5 tackles, and his points just go mental. The other key is kickers. So pick someone that can get extra points because you get points for goal kicking. Cleary is a gun. The reason why you pick Cleary,
he does everything.
The guy's got like try assist.
Yeah.
He's always in defensive. He's quite a strong defender. His kick meters are mental. His run meters are mental. Just everything, and he scores tries, man. And out of all the players, I've got the highest points with that guy. I've never seen anyone in Supercoach score like 600 points.
Is that the max that you can score?
Well, generally, if a player gets 100 points, that's crazy. That's like really good score. So if you captain him, you get 200, right?
Oh, so the captain gets extra points.
Captain gets double. So you've got to select your captains and your vice captain. If your captain gets injured or doesn't play, obviously it just diverts to your vice captain. But yeah, double points. So one season, the guy got over 300 points and he was my captain.
Whoa.
So that's just like unheard of sort of stuff. You get the odd player that can get up to 200, just over 250. Like I said, if they score 100 and 150, that's crazy. That's like really good. So he's a diamond, mate.
Yeah.
You just don't miss selecting him. Again, you got a budget, like a $5 million budget. Don't quote me on that, but let's say you get a $5 million budget. You got to buy your players within that budget, and obviously some of them are based off last year's performances.
Yep.
So if you go try and buy Cleary, he'll probably be worth like $1 million. You know, where every other average player, like the lowest value player, will be 200 grand. So this is where Supercoach comes in, because you've got to strategically buy them, but within your budget.
Right.
And then every round, as some of these cash cows build more money, so I could buy a player, and I did it last year for like 200,000, and then through the season got more minutes, and they got up to 500,000. But they're still not getting enough minutes to make an impact on your overall score.
Yeah.
So once he got to 500, I traded him out for another cheap player, but then used that 500 to trade one of the other players and upgrade him. So it's trade and upgrade.
So there's a lot of work there. Like if a player's not sort of performing, and like you just gave that example there, you can sort of trade and then use that money to get another player for,
Correct.
sort of money and stuff.
But at the same time, players lose value too. So you can get increased value, but you can also lose value.
How does a player lose value?
So let's say, for example, David Fifita. So there's projections that they put on them.
Docs, no offense, man. We're not taking a dig at you.
Yeah, we know you're Samoan. It's all good. So he's for Fifita, for example, his projections were like 50, right? And they I don't know what sort of math or formula that they use to put out projections, but projections means like what they think they should be scoring. And off those projections, if they reach it or exceed it, they increase in price. So let's say they reach the projection, it's 50, he should be scoring 50 this game, and he hits that projection, he won't go up much. But if he scores 150, his price just shoots up.
Right.
Same the other way. If he's only got 10, it's like, well, you did shit. And then do 3 games in a row, not hitting your projections, value drops.
It drops. Oh, okay.
So you gotta also look at your players on their performance, and and it's a hard thing too, because sometimes, for me, I'm a numbers guy, so I don't really get. This is why I'm good at playing the game, because I don't get emotionally attached. Oh, because that's fucking Tamalolo, keep him on. He'll play better next week.
Yeah.
Just look at the data, and the data says he hasn't performed for the last 3 weeks. And then you look at why, and some of it's because his minutes are being cut back, or something like that. Or maybe he got injured 1 week and his numbers are dropping down. So this is the part of the Supercoach you've got to pay attention to. So you just got to manage your team. And when we sit there, that was my favorite thing to do. Just sit around, look at these things. There's websites where you can get a lot of the information and data from.
Yeah.
The performance and stuff. But it's up to you to dig deep. I like to work on averages.
Yeah.
So what their averages every week. So if their scoring average is like, let's say 60, which is pretty high, you start looking at that and start filtering players by averages of 60. A lot of players average between the top players would average between 70 to 100, and that'll be like your Nathan Cleary's, your high performers. They average from that. So I usually use average as a quick guide to see where everyone's sitting, but at the same time you can see the price is also increased around that. So those players that are hitting those averages, if you can buy them down at a low average, like this is why cash cows are pretty good, because you buy them and they're like down at like
increase,
20 points per game, and then they start getting more money, they start hitting 30s, 40s, the price just shoots up. So it's quite a tactical game, and this is why I've been playing for this is my 5th season.
Very tactical.
Last season I got full on bit, bro. I didn't even make the quarters, eh? And
Who got you?
Yeah. Huh?
Who got you?
Oh, bro. So when you create leagues, there's like a league of 12, like you can probably see our league. We're probably sitting with 8 members.
Yeah.
It usually tops up with randoms. If the season starts and we haven't got any other friends to jump into that league, it just tops up with randoms. So I think last year I didn't even make it a small league. I made it a big league.
Yeah.
So all these randoms came in and they must have been fucking guns, because I got slaughtered, eh? But at the same time, I was playing my first season playing NRL drafts with fantasy.
Oh, okay, yeah.
With AFA.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was playing 2 comps. So I don't know, no excuses or anything like that. But yeah, they're totally 2 different scoring methods, but sort of same function on how it works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very, very interesting, and it's become really big, over the last few years.
Right.
Supercoach and even now fantasy's starting to come into it. It was really big in NFL.
Yeah.
Back in forever how long NFL had it, but now it's starting to come into the NRL too. And you can see in the socials, you can see comments, when a bad game comes, like, oh, KP, it cost me my fantasy points or something like that, because you had a shit game or something.
Yeah, 100%. There's some big things that can happen, like you're riding on one player to clean up and win you the game, and he gets injured halfway through, right? And you lose all your points. Well, you don't lose all your points, it just stops. Send-offs too, you get negative points.
How much for a send-off for a sin bin?
It's quite a big number, man. Like if it's a sin bin, it's like negative 4 points, which doesn't sound much.
Yeah.
But man, on the scheme of things, man, it's quite. It could make you lose a round. So
just having that negative score in there, right?
Again, man, like if you look at some players that are just ill-disciplined, man, you're just like, no, don't even bother. Like they just keep losing points. But you look at Latrell Mitchell's one of them, right? He's just always getting penalised or whatever. Yeah. But he's so good that his numbers are actually pretty good.
Yeah.
He averages, he makes up for it. But then you got other knuckleheads like, what's your cousin's name from they used to play in the Rabbitohs and the Cinders? Is it Tane Milne?
Tane Salipo.
Yeah, your cousin, man, that guy, bro. I swear I've seen that guy finish on negatives, eh?
No, it'll be very interesting. It'll something there that I've got to have a go at, because I just, still learning. So no, that's good.
I think from what we're doing here and getting more insight in the game, it's just a different perspective on it. Looking at because we always talk about the favorite guys, the guys that are doing work, but when we talk about guys like Hayward, the 1%ers he does always show up on the data.
Yeah.
Because there's some surprising plays. You're like, hey, this guy's week in and week out getting some big numbers, but he doesn't get talked about on the game, right? Because he's the guy that's the workhorse, right? Doing hundreds of tackles, but no one wants to talk about him because he doesn't throw money balls,
Yeah, Bailey Hayward, he is that guy.
Cam Murray is another one that just gets points on points on points.
Yeah.
He's just like, he's fit. He's an 80-minute player as well. He's all over the park, So, but it's good to see him back this year, eh? He's back, man. Eh?
He's back, man. He's back, and it's definitely good to see him. It's I think they're expecting big things from old Cam Murray. I think he might be a pickup for Supercoach.
Yo. So
with the Supercoach, when you get the players, like once you get them, no other guy in the league can have that player, obviously.
Oh no, that's the draft. So on the draft,
Okay.
yeah, this one, I can have the same team as you. Exactly
Oh, okay.
the same team.
Okay,
Doesn't
right.
matter.
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
it's just how you play them and all that sort of
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
But yeah, after this, man, let's sit down. Let's go through our teams. I'll show you what I've put together.
Yeah.
There's some auto picks in there that you can do. So part of my my structure on picking teams is I go through and I select all the key positions first and put the big dogs there,
Yeah.
the big money makers, and then sometimes I just hit the auto pick and it just auto fills your team.
Yeah.
And then from there you just go through and just move things around.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So just build your team off your spine. Your 1, 6, 7, and 9, and 13, or
Nah. You just you'll see the averages. It's basically building off who can score the most points.
of course, yeah.
Yeah, and you'll be surprised at who can score some. Like, you know, you got some players. If you look at the second rowers, because the other guys that do a lot of hit ups, tackles, they're in the middle, right?
Yeah.
They get a lot of points and what you call base points. So your base points, man, where the other guys score off, like they get tries and they get intercepts and long run meters. They get, like, those are the flashy guys in the back. And sometimes your fullbacks, man, they can score like Tommy Turbo. Right, one season that guy was scoring like easy 150 every game. It was just crazy.
Manly's season hinges on Tommy Turbo since he's the captain now.
Yep.
Yeah, if he can stay injury free, I think Manly can do some damage. But if he gets injured, I think that's the end of Manly.
Yeah. Yep.
Tommy Turbo. Yeah, no, that'll be good to have a look at that.
Yeah, the high scoring guys last year, even Teddy, man, like fullbacks.
Yeah.
You got Teddy, you got Scott Drinkwater, who scores a lot of points.
Teddy's always busy too, though, eh?
Yeah, he is. Bit too busy sometimes.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you just need to step back. But he's so fit and just so involved, and that's what I mean. This guy just munches up numbers every week in, week out. Just the workhorse. So Teddy, Latrell Mitchell, even Kevin Ponga, all your fullbacks, man, for some reason, because they do a lot of try assists, a lot of run meters from the back, they score big as well.
Yeah, they do the run meters and obviously all the block shape and that. They're always sweeping. All the fullbacks come out the back for that, and that's pretty much nearly every NRL team does that block shape with the sweep around the back. It's always the fullback that either will take it or have a try assist. So, yeah.
There's one big factor in there that a lot of people do, right? They trade everything out at the beginning of the year. Oh, trade, because you get 3 trades per round.
Oh yeah.
But if you get trade happy, come to finals, right?
Yeah, you're lost, you're bust.
You got no more trades, mate. You're gone. See you, bro.
Use them all up, hey?
Very common, and I've like got to quarters or semis and just had like no trades up my sleeve.
Yeah.
So yeah.
There's a method behind the madness, isn't it?
Absolutely. That's why they call it Supercoach.
Supercoach, yes, we'll get onto that, man. But a new segment on the potty, a blast from the past. So this will be a weekly thing for us, and we'll talk about anything from our childhood, teenage, or young adult life, whether it be music, movie, food, just something that sort of resonates with you. That's a blast from the past. So this week I'll be talking about, say, a movie. I think it's a bit of a crowd favourite for one of our favourites, Bloodsport. Bloodsport, Jean-Claude Van Damme and the Kumite. Okay, USA.
I love that Nasuka. Nasuka.
That's kickboxing, mate.
Oh, sorry.
Van Damme, wrong movie, but yeah, anyway, Bloodsport.
Wrong one.
Van Damme, that was,
what's his name? Our scary Asian friend. Bolo. Hey, for your Samoans, it's Bolo.
Mate, that guy, he was unreal, eh?
Oh, yeah.
For an Asian dude, eh?
Yeah.
He was a bodybuilder.
He was popular because he was in one of Bruce Lee's movies, right?
He was an Enter the Dragon.
Yeah.
But he was a bodybuilder, that's why he had the big chest and pretty solid physique.
Just a solid physique.
Yeah.
Just a scary bastard.
But did martial arts as well.
Yeah.
Bloodsport, man. Yeah.
What's your memories from that?
Mate, first time I watched Bloodsport, I got a videotape from one of my mates from school.
Yeah.
And we were talking about it. He was like, bro, you got to watch this movie, man. It's Van Damme. I was like, who's Van Damme? Oh, this bro could do the splits and all this sort of stuff. And you're like, yeah, back then we didn't have internet.
Yeah. No,
You know, so everything was sort of word of mouth, or
Yeah.
people with videos, or you read it through magazines or whatever. You know, so you couldn't just jump on YouTube or whatever and do a bit of a quick preview. You sort of had to. The videotape got passed around, you know.
Yeah.
So I got the videotape off a mate from school and chucked it on, and I was like, bro, this is nuts.
Crazy, yeah.
Bro, it was unreal, man. I was like, man, how good is this movie?
Yeah.
So good. But it's funny that like any martial arts movie, it always resonates with you, no matter who it is. Van Damme, Jackie Chan, Bruce Lee,
Yeah.
you know, Jack Norris.
That was our upbringing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, just we used to just watch videotapes of Kung Fu. I remember Dad used to bring home random videotapes. You remember? Do you remember the 7 Grandmasters?
Yeah, bro.
Remember the ones where they used the cricket style, just the
Yeah.
Dad used to like get videos and go, oh, we're watching karate, yeah. And then 80s and 90s, man. For our 90s children there, we're still young, doesn't matter.
Oh, man.
The Van Damme's came out and just went to karate and Kung Fu movies went to another level, right?
It was nuts, man. Yeah, same thing. My mum used to get all the Bruce Lee movies and Kung Fu movies just to watch it.
Yeah.
You know? And I think that's where it comes from, is that emotional attachment, because it always
100.
reminds me of my mum.
Yeah.
You know, watching it with my mum.
I think that brings back memories too. Like, because that's the only time we used to sit down with my dad. You know, when he'd come home from work, and I remember being younger, we'd just all sit down, put video. He'll buy, ice cream, chips, and we'll all sit down and watch this movie. But yeah, with the blood sport, I remember going in Dad's videos, and I found this video, One Day We Can Watch, in his cupboard up the top. I don't want to go carry on there, Dad, but found this video, and we found One Day We Can Watch, and then for the whole school holidays day, because there was no other video, right?
Yeah.
Besides the other one, but we didn't watch it.
True.
Yeah. I'm not gonna watch that one. And we just watched it, reruns, to the point where, like, we knew every word,
Yeah, no, it was a good movie. Van Damme, Frank Dukes.
Yep.
Dux, what do you
Frank
want
Dukes.
Went to the Kumite, was taught by his Japanese mate when we broke into their house, if you're not familiar with it. But it was a good story. But they reckon, because it was based on a true story of Frank Dukes, they reckon that actual Frank Dukes is a fraud.
All right.
Yeah, like he made everything up, like the Kumite, even him being in the army.
Oh yeah.
And all that sort of stuff. Yeah, he's an absolute fraud.
All right.
Yeah. There was some backwards and forwards at the time when Bloodsport was released. He was saying that, I did all this stuff, and then when there was some research done, they couldn't find anything on Frank Dukes, or even the Kumite as well. Was a sort of a made up thing.
Yeah.
But fun fact, when Bloodsport was going to be released, they were going to can it, because the way the movie flowed was shit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it didn't work.
Yeah.
Van Damme said, "Let me go and let me edit it, and we'll release it then. If it doesn't work, I'll pay for whatever."
Yeah.
So Van Damme went and edited it, and so what we watched, that Bloodsport, is Van Damme's handiwork.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so that's what was released and ended up being his start.
All right.
Yeah.
Was there one before that? Was it the what's that?
No Retreat, No Surrender.
No Retreat, No
Yeah.
Surrender.
Yeah, that was there. He was in that one too, but he was like a minor character.
Correct.
Bloodsport was the first major.
Yeah.
Where he was sort of like the main character.
The main character.
Yeah. But No Retreat, No Surrender is another martial arts movie that's
it's another one that sort of reminds me.
Yeah.
So yeah, being so long ago, it's all tying in together. A bit of this, a bit of that.
But yeah, it's funny that when you start thinking about back in the day, like we just spoke about then, like, you with your dad and me with my mum.
Yeah.
You just go, wow, yeah, that's why, even though the movie's probably rubbish to some people, but it's just that emotional attachment that you get. Same thing with wrestling, because I used to watch that with my mum.
Yeah.
That's why I'm a big wrestling freak.
Yeah.
It's just that, that emotional attachment.
It's funny because I try to replicate it with the kids, right? Sit down, watch a movie. Come on, kids, sit down. And then you're halfway through and you look around and 3 of them's gone, stood out. And it's like, hey.
These ones?
Yeah. Get over here. I'll watch these movies. But yeah, I might make that part of our, get a movie out and just chuck it on, and then we can put it back on here. But I like doing that, looking at the reruns of, what we used to watch.
But anything like that, like even food, music, a song that's sort of, when you first catch that gang at school or whatever.
Yeah.
TV show, whatever, something from the past.
That's good, Bloodsport. So for the millions of viewers out there, man, if you got some sort of connection to Bloodsport, man, comment below.
Yeah, let us know, man. Be sure to like and subscribe, but I think we're done, brother.
Man, good session, man.
Episode 9 in the can. Let's go.
Have a good week, guys, and we'll see you in the next episode. Lofaku.
Laters.